In 2025, China is gripped by a pervasive sense of unease, as if anxiety lingers in the very air. The national treasury is depleted, local governments are drowning in debt, officials are resigning or fleeing, and businesses struggle to meet payroll. At this precarious moment, when fear permeates society, Beijing abruptly declares a nationwide probe into 13 years of bidding and corruption issues. They frame it as open to public reporting, with rewards for whistleblowers, and even IP addresses will be traced. This is not merely an anti-corruption campaign, it is a reckoning, a desperate fiscal strategy cloaked in the guise of justice to salvage a faltering economy. Jiangxi and Inner Mongolia take the lead. On July 28, Jiangxi's Development and Reform Commission issued a directive mandating a thorough review of all legally required bidding projects since November 2012. The focus is on covert dealings, bid rigging, power-for-money trades, and illicit profit transfers. A chilling phrase at the notice's end sends a shiver through countless civil servants. Rewards for reporting. A month later, Inner Mongolia's League City follows suit. Zilin-Gol, Alksa, and Chayuchianki established tip-off mailboxes and hotlines with deadlines for submissions set precisely to December 31, 2026. Panic ripples through the bureaucracy. Some officials lie awake at night, others discreetly destroy documents. One remarked, "This isn't anti-corruption, it's clearing out old stock." This review appears to be an effort to restore economic order, but it exposes the government's dire financial straits. According to a June 2025 report from the Chinese Academy of Fiscal Sciences, local government hidden debt has surpassed 70 trillion yuan, with urban investment debt alone reaching 43 trillion. On average, each prefecture-level city shoulders over 100 billion in debt, while fiscal revenues dwindle. In 2024, national fiscal income fell 6.7% from the previous year, yet expenditures rose 9.2%. Where will the funds come from? Every resource has been exhausted, every plot of land sold. Thus Beijing turns to old accounts. This review is essentially a sanctioned excavation, fining businesses to plug fiscal gaps, purging internal adversaries while emptying financial reserves, and staging a political campaign to convince the public the government is fighting corruption to ensure stability. The banner of anti-corruption conceals a fiscal crisis. Many bidding projects were once approved by higher authorities, leaving little room for discretion. Now, scrutinizing 13 years of records ensures no one escapes. The outcome? Not systemic reform, but a surge of fines, investigations, and dismissals, granting the government a few more months of financial reprieve. Jiangxi and Inner Mongolia are merely the beginning. Insiders disclose that the Development and Reform Commission has directed provinces to prepare bidding self-inspection reports for submission by year's end. This signals that the review's tempest will spread from local to central levels, from construction projects to scientific research, procurement, state-owned enterprise equipment, and even healthcare. Every government procurement document and bidding announcement becomes a potential revenue stream. Why? Because penalties flow directly into the treasury, serving as a new income source for local governments. Between 2014 and 2023, over 213,000 cases of irregularities in government procurement and bidding were recorded nationwide, involving more than 1.2 trillion yuan. In 2023 alone, disciplinary authorities reported 7,392 cases of bid rigging, a 32% increase from the prior year. Ministry of Finance data reveals that central transfer payments in 2024 accounted for 79% of local budgets, with local fiscal revenue comprising just 20%, barely sufficient for daily operations. China's economy once leaned on three pillars: land sales, debt issuance, and infrastructure investment. Now, all three are obstructed. The only recourse is past errors. This review resembles a policy-driven exhumation, with old transaction records transformed into a financial goldmine. Its greatest flaw is the erosion of procedural fairness. Many documents have long been archived or destroyed, rendering evidence chains incomplete. Political interference risks turning this into a purge tool rather than a legal process, a political movement in disguise. In 2014, Yunnan conducted a 6-year review. In 2019, Inner Mongolia pursued a 20-year review, both confined to industries like coal and mining. This time, it is nationwide, spanning industries and departments, with public reporting encouraged. A fiscal war, not an anti-corruption effort. Beijing wields these reviews to scrape resources, treating past bids as a new tax base. With the treasury hemorrhaging, businesses, officials, and projects become the new blood bank. Online, outrage erupts. Some quip, they're even investigating a printer purchase from 13 years ago. Others deride, the government demanded we win the bid then, and now they demand we explain ourselves. On platforms like Jihu, Weibo, and Douyin, 13-year review trends, with one biting comment standing out, this isn't anti-corruption, it's anti-poverty. Indeed, as the government struggles to fund public security or pay local civil servants on time, a nationwide review campaign serves as a temporary lifeline. The fiscal crisis stems from a lack of funds, and the truth of this 13-year review is plundering under the guise of anti-corruption. A decade ago, anti-corruption established authority. Now, it sustains survival. Yet this time, the target is not just corrupt officials, but the system's own past. This 13-year review is not solely about combating corruption, it is a fiscal great leap forward. Ostensibly, it aims to eliminate corruption and restore market fairness, but in truth, it is a dual harvest of politics and finance. The fiscal shortfall is so vast that it has reached the point of slaughtering the hen for its eggs. In the first half of 2025, the national fiscal deficit rate reached a new peak, with official data reporting a 4.2 trillion yuan shortfall. Local debt interest payments now consume nearly 40% of local fiscal revenue, and some provinces face the humiliation of relying on loans to pay salaries. The review has become Beijing's universal key to avert fiscal collapse. Anti-corruption bolsters authority, fines generate revenue, and blame-shifting diverts attention. Over the past 2 decades, China's economic growth rested on 3 pillars: land finance, debt expansion, and infrastructure investment. Now all 3 have collapsed. Land finance and real estate have cratered, with land transfer revenue dropping to 4.3 trillion yuan in 2024, a 46% decline, the largest in history. Debt expansion has reached its limit, with local debt balances hitting 40.8 trillion yuan in the first half of 2025. The Development and Reform Commission has barred new non-essential projects, and infrastructure investment approvals have tightened. Private capital has retreated, with investment completion rates below 50%, and the fiscal gap continues to widen. Thus, Beijing has shifted to review mode, not generating wealth but liquidating it. Jiangxi and Inner Mongolia are the first wave. Zhejiang, Henan, Shandong, and Sichuan are rumored to face special case reviews next. Insiders reveal the official narrative is investigate to reform, fine to collect, and stabilize public confidence through anti-corruption. In plain terms, identify issues, impose penalties, and create a spectacle. China's bidding system, from local governments and development commissions to industry regulators and project evaluations, has long been tainted by kickbacks. Without addressing systemic flaws, no amount of investigation will suffice. Yet Beijing has no interest in repairing the system, it seeks only to extract funds from it. In 2024, disciplinary agencies investigated 587,000 public officials, 1/3 tied to bidding and procurement. The Ministry of Finance reported recovering 198.3 billion yuan in irregular fiscal expenditures, seemingly an anti-corruption triumph, but in reality, a stark fiscal plunder. In many regions, disciplinary committees, finance departments, audits, and development commissions have formed special task forces to probe under the banner of anti-corruption. The result? Businesses pay fines, officials face discipline, and the treasury gains revenue. It's like a legalized shakedown, a construction company head said with a wry smile. They're digging up projects from 13 years ago. Who can guarantee flawless records? If they want to find fault, they will. This is the system's terror. Everyone is potentially culpable. It's only a matter of when they're targeted to kill the chicken to warn the monkey. The whistleblower reward system is a new societal explosive. Jiangxi's notice explicitly states, those providing verified major leads will receive substantial rewards. A single internal tip could yield thousands of yuan. Some call it using money to incite mutual betrayal. This campaign leaves officials, businesses, and society gripped by fear. China's propaganda loudly proclaims that the review will foster a transparent market order. Yet, in reality, fairness in bidding has never truly existed. According to 2024 data from the China Economic Times, 36% of government procurement projects nationwide show signs of bid rigging, with over 50% in construction. Bidding isn't competition, it's a redistribution of power. A private business owner with over a decade of government project experience confided, "We all know how it works, who to entertain, who to bribe, who makes the final call." Now, the rules have shifted. It's not about who bribes, but who's loyal enough. The 2025 review feels like political vetting. Those aligned with the new system may escape, while those tied to old systems, local factions, or retired officials' networks risk being targeted. On the surface, it's about rooting out corruption. In reality, it's about purging ranks. The era of sham bidding persists, only under new masters. A decade ago, anti-corruption was a tool for new leadership to assert dominance. Now, it's a means of fiscal survival. The 2012 Tiger and Fly campaign rattled the bureaucracy. The 2025 13-year review shakes the entire system. This is no longer an anti-corruption crusade, but an anti-corruption lifeline. Anti-corruption has become the only publicly viable tool for fiscal recovery, targeting political rivals while recouping funds. Yet, when finances hinge on anti-corruption, it signals a systemic economic collapse. This review may appear as a political purge, but it foreshadows systemic breakdown. With fiscal reserves drained, the political machine loses its lubrication. More extreme plundering methods may emerge. The fiscal crisis's endpoint is not redemption, but fear. Fear that maintains a fragile order while pushing the system toward collapse. When a government relies on reviews to balance its budget, the nation's economic logic has been fundamentally reversed. Thanks for watching and joining us on this journey to unveil China's many layers. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated. See you in the next video.